Hey guys, welcome back to some more AFK Arena. Today we're over on the YouTube account, and as you've seen from the thumbnail, guys, hopefully it is going to be streamer luck. We did pick up a couple more of our superb hero stones, hoping that we are going to get an Awakened hero. We used, I believe, 3 last time. It was either 3 or 4 that we used last time. I do want to go through and finish out the Misty Valley. So the Misty Valley, the second section of this is up, allowing us to get some more heroes. I know I need a copy of Tarnos. I actually need a couple copies of a few different heroes, including Orin, guys. Orin will take us up to that ascended level so we can do some summons, looking to build a lot of heroes up. In addition, guys, Joan of Arc is up for the redemption. So if you saved enough resources, guys, she is available for you to pick up. Very powerful hero. I highly recommend picking her up, guys. She is well worth it. Let's see, we got William here, we got Rel here as well. Skeepy's Javid is here. And as many of you guys know, guys, looking at, again, the notification, everything, today in the United States is September 11th. It is a big day, big memorial for a lot of people with everything that happened with the Twin Towers and all of that. And a lot of people say, do you remember when? Yes, I remember when 9/11 happened, guys. I was forward deployed with the Marine Corps. Most of you know I spent 8 years in the Marine Corps. We were actually off the coast of South America, right outside of Chile. When 9/11 happened, we actually moved our formation into the middle of the ocean, waiting to see exactly what we were going to do, which again is kind of a interesting thing to think about, but yeah, kind of crazy to think about. So looking at our gold challenge here, guys, slay at least 3 non-summon enemies during battle with Valoris. I'm not sure this gold challenge I'm going to be able to get unless I can level up Valoris a lot more. We have her basically not really built here. So that challenge I know is a new one. I am going to save that one because we're going to have to see exactly what we can get done with that challenge specifically. That again is going to be a interesting one. What's going on, Carol? Never forget, yeah, that's a big thing, Bears. And every year that I see it, I always remember where I am. I remember watching it on the news literally when it was going down. Again, we were deployed. I was on the USS Gunston Hall at that time. But being forward deployed, it was kind of an interesting time, kind of a scary time. But overall, it was kind of crazy. Just finished the Misty Valley. Yes, Raphael. This is probably one of the single most loot-heavy events that we have within this game. It is incredible the amount of loot that the Misty Valley gets, guys. I love it on repeat. Same with the Treasure Scramble. I love the Treasure Scramble being on repeat because, again, you get an incredible amount of loot out of here. I really, guys, this is not something that you should ever miss just because of how much loot you have in here. Being able to pick what you want as well is incredible. So we'll finish this out. We'll do all of our summons again. I'm hoping we can get a couple copies of Brutus. I think I have 19 cards, maybe 20 cards that we farmed out of there. And I think I have around 70, emblems or Stargazer cards. So Stargazer cards we've been farming up as well to try to make some more progression. Then, of course, the campaign, guys. The campaign still got to make some more progression in there. Yeah, Joan of Arc is good right there. 209.30. The 309.60 is honestly, Dad. I wouldn't go that high of an investment. Just like what Javid said, I would not go the full maxed out difference unless you're heavy PvP, unless you're using unless you're doing a lot of the things of that nature. There isn't a super high benefit with getting her to that plus 60 signature item, or excuse me, the plus 60 engraving signature item does help. It is kind of easier to build, but ultimately that plus 60 engraving, guys, I would not build her all the way up to that plus 60. I don't feel like, again, that the necessity is there, that the need is really there to build her out that high. I wouldn't build her. The 209.30, like what Javid said, is ideally where you do want to build her. That is kind of the ideal build. I did some summoning on my alt and guaranteed on an alt was Awakened Soulless. So Awakened Soulless, guys, you need 1 copy, just like we have said before. Awakened Soulless is one that you do want to get 1 single copy of, guys. We've actually seen her in a lot of formations. Just having, again, that 1 single copy has been incredibly strong. I think this one was Joan and Estrilda. Again, one copy, guys, is what you definitely want to pull out of there to get the legendary version of Solus. Just got a lot that I'm thinking about right now with everything going on. Is Rowan still good past E30? Not really. I wouldn't really take Rowan past that E30 level. E30 is even kind of a stretch. There's not, again, a big need. It does a heal over time. The big thing with that one is if you're utilizing Rowan and the heal over time happens, if the enemy is full or if the hero is full, it doesn't do anything. What's going on, Queen? Please make a guide for the Abyssal Expedition. John, I am going to do it today. It will be done today. There's a lot of data out there. One of the big things with the Abyssal Expedition, guys, and I know a couple of you have asked for the guides. The big thing with the guides is because this is the competitive side of the Abyssal Expedition, we can absolutely come up and we can have some guides. I'm going to cover some combat formations for the last boss. But again, because it's competitive, a lot of the guilds do not want to share exactly what's going on, just because of the ability, all heroes on the back line must be warriors, the ability to score within the event. That's the big thing right now, guys, is once we get a little bit further, we will definitely make a guide. Yes, it will be up there. Why is the Abyssal Expedition such a popular mode? Big thing with the Abyssal Expedition, guys, is it's challenging and it takes the guild. It really takes the competitive aspect. If any of you have played some of the World of Warcraft games or some of the more in-depth, kind of, I guess, intense games, they require a incredible amount of kind of attention to detail, really. You have to do everything's kind of just right. Systematically, the Abyssal Expedition can be very hard to do, but it's challenging. That is one of the reasons. That's why I do it, Dark Lucifer, is because the Abyssal Expedition in this game, when you think about everything in here that is challenging, the Abyssal Expedition is probably one of the most time-consuming and probably one of the most difficult game modes for players to get through. You can cheese it, you can get the same rewards, but ultimately to go through and actually be, let's say, in the top 10, it's incredibly difficult, and that's what players want. A lot of players, especially if you're heavy pay to win, they want the challenge within AFK Arena. If all the content is super easy, everyone will blow through it, no one will want to play. It's kind of the bragging rights of where we were. Achieve without a tank or ranger. So no tank, no ranger in this one. We'll just go with some support, and we'll go with some mages. We'll drop Joan in there because we just got her. We'll drop a couple, I'll get a couple mages in there. Should be good. What's going on, Alejandro? So close to getting Grez E30. Yes, Raphael, Grez is one of the heroes you absolutely want to build first, and you want to build him very high. He is a hero that is used in an incredible amount of AFK Arena. It's crazy to see how much we do utilize some specific heroes, like Lucretia, again, used for a ton of AFK Arena. Ainz, again, used for a ton of AFK Arena. And this one, of course, is the 3 ults. Let's ult Thane. That'll be easy enough. I got Kayleen to Mythic Plus. Kayleen is pretty good. Kayleen is actually used in quite a bit of AFK Arena, but you do have to have her built. So even to be pushing with her, to be really successful with her, even within the Graveborn Tower, Kayleen does have to be built quite a bit. And let me see, guys. So we have, let's collect up all of our loot. Let's see what we got left, guys. Look at all the stones. That is incredible. So we have the one right here, which is Tarnos, and then we have the one here with Valoris. Everything else is clear. So those two we are going to keep. And there is our fat loot, guys. Absolutely love it. That gives us another stone. 2 elite heroes, 1 suburb stone gives us the other copy of Orin that we needed. Got some more Stargazer cards, a lot of Twisted Essence. Gonna have to come back in here and finish out those very, very last 2. But that means, guys, that Orin should be, I believe, completely done at this point. which takes him to our ascended level, giving us his animated avatar. We all know pets are coming on Tuesday, which is going to be pretty cool to see, but pets will be here in 2 days. 2 more days, guys, the pets will be here. I think they're going to have a really big impact on a lot of AFK Arena. When you look at the stats that we had talked about a little bit earlier, it's going to make an impact when it comes to the magic side of it. It's going to be, again, interesting to see when it comes up on global exactly how big the impact is in AFK Arena. Misty Valley, yeah, Misty Valley. I think you can just merc Valoris. That's really the big one, Carol. Merc a copy of Valoris and then just go ahead and with that copy that you have, put in support heroes, put in crowd control, put in support. It'll allow Valoris to kill those out. It should be pretty easy. Should I put twins on the wish list even though they're not ascended? I would if you're building them out. Big thing, Raphael, is a hero like the twins. You want to, when you get them, if you're building them right now, if you're looking to get them up to that ascended level, yes, you can definitely put them in there for the furniture. I do it with a couple other heroes. I believe I have Valoris in here, and I think I have Brutus in here. Neither of them are at that ascended level, but we still want to build them out much further, meaning that we are going to have the opportunity to, knowing that we're focused on them, knowing that we're building them, when we get to that point, they will already have their furniture. Do I prefer Halos or Athalia? Honestly, Helos is the preferred one out of those two. Athalia will come from the shop, will come in time, but he is used in a ton of formations. Athalia doesn't see as much gameplay and doesn't see as much, I would say, as a difference than we see with Halos, just because he's in a lot of Cursed Realm formations. He's in a lot of different aspects of AFK Arena, where she is primarily used within the Celestial Tower. It is where we usually see Athalia. And again, Athalia you can get overtime for free. That's exactly what I'm doing out of the shop, is I am saving up now, buying copies of Athalia. We're almost there to another copy. I'm going to take her all the way to 5 stars, and then I'm going to go to Aziz. Even though I like Orthos, guys, Orthos is not really used for much of anything, and a lot of players don't have him, but ultimately a lot of players don't use him. Mixed feelings on the pet. Yeah, that's Stark Lucifer. We're going to have to see exactly when and how the pets are going to affect it, is what we're going to have to see. But I mean, when you talk about whales, when you talk about players that dominate AFK Arena, it is the larger whales that are always going to just have everything first. It happened the same signature items. We've seen it with furniture. We've seen it with engraving. We'll see it with pets. That has never changed. That has honestly never changed, and we will continue to see that. Will there be new stats related to magic and physical? I think there will be. The new stats do have, there's 4 new stats that are coming that are on Tuesday. And again, it's going to be interesting to see where these stats come in. And that's kind of going to be the big thing. Show us the Field of Stars. Oh, the Field of Stars is done. I don't know what we want to see here. Ali wants to see the Field of Stars. This has been completed for an incredible amount of time now. I don't even remember the last time. I know they changed the names. So these constellation names changed a little bit, but the content within the constellations did not change. So here it just tells you exactly what your rewards are out of the stars that you've unlocked. But I'm sure with the name change for the constellations, they're going to go ahead. They're going to add more stars. There's got to be more stars coming, guys, because again, they updated the names in all these, which makes me think there are a lot more stars that are going to be coming. Quick question. How are we going to save for 2 dims? Fube, we've done it a couple times. We did it with Ainz and Albedo. We did it with Joker, and we did it with Queen. Honestly, you pretty much just keep everything capped. So within the store, I mean, we have a pretty high limit in here. Even the Labyrinth tokens, this caps at, I believe, 200,000. But most of this is you're just going to be stacking resources. That was the reason, if you've seen yesterday's videos, when we're saving for 2-dimensionals, I wish they would let us buy the fragments. So actually the puzzle piece fragments and just save them in our bag. versus just getting them. Now, one thing they have always said, Fube, is they will always provide us enough rewards through regular gameplay to get both of our dimensional heroes. So you're not going to be one that actually misses out on a dimensional hero, because they are going to allow you to get the heroes with the resources from the day that it is announced to the day that the redemption goes. They said you will have enough. You will have enough through there to get both heroes. They've said they need to lift the caps. Yes, Dark Lucifer. I don't understand the logic for the caps, especially when there's only so much you can buy in the shop. I know you can refresh it, but ultimately either you're going to spend the resources now or you're going to spend the resources later. It is going to be kind of the two big things in there, guys. Is it's going to be now or later when you build them. All right, guys. So we are looking to build up Valoris a little bit more. We know we've been working on her. Question is, and I want to put this question up to you. Are we going to save the diamonds and save the cards to build up Awakened Brutus? So Brutus, we know we do need one more copy and he will be at Mythic Plus, 3 more and he will be at Ascended, which means he will be available in the Stargazer. So are we going to save the Diamond Stargazer cards to build out Brutus, or are we going to continue building out Valoris? Let me know in the comments what you guys think, who exactly we're going to be looking to build out here. Again, I was kind of on the fence with both, because we know we do want to get Brutus up to that Ascended level. I also did get Audrey up to the plus 30 engraving. This has a big impact on the damage she's doing, guys. And since we are using her within the Celestial Tower, we need to build her up a little more, which is what we're doing. What preparations are needed for the double dimensionals, the Witcher event? Nothing, Denny. You just save your resources. That is really the big thing. Just save your resources is all you need. There isn't much preparation. The big thing that's going to be, kind of the prep would be resources. So the other big thing, guys, that a lot of players don't really realize is when you think of it, Denny, look at today. When you look at today, you're going to need furniture. You're going to need signature items. You're going to need engraving. Those 3 are given with our dimensional heroes. So over the next 60 days, guys, even though we're going to see a lot of different heroes that are probably released by the time the Witcher heroes come, again, you're going to need 300 red chests for the plus 30 signature item. So these emblem choice chests we're going to have to save. You're going to need, 3,500 elemental shards to go ahead and build them up, or maybe 45, I think it's 4,500 elemental shards. You're also going to need the elemental cores to build them up. So again, you're going to have to start saving today and saving pretty much everything. One of the big things that can make this a lot easier when you start getting the dimensional heroes, guys, is the Labyrinth Store. Getting these emblems of space or saving these emblems of space. But again, the Labyrinth tokens are the primary purchase tool when it comes to both of the dimensional heroes. The Labyrinth tokens are what you're going to use more than anything to get those heroes, guys. So you're going to have to keep this capped at about the 200,000 mark if you're looking to get both of the heroes, again, because of the cap that we have on the coins. 100,000 for each one, just like we seen with Joan of Arc, meaning that a majority of your resources are going to come out of here. So you have to save everything. Go for Brutus, but we can get all the heroes. Yeah, I'd like to see the Awakened Brutus. Yes. Brutus, do stars are just a 1% bonus by assess, or 20%, but 1 star, then Brutus, then back to Valoris. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking is we can save for Brutus. Once we get Brutus up to that 1 star, we can dump everything into Valoris, which would work. They are kind of crazy. A bit sad that so many are quitting the game. Yeah, and that's it. That is a lot of people will quit. A lot of people will come and go. We've seen it, going on 3.5 years now. There'll be a lot of different content that does come down kind of the pipeline. Good or bad, it is what it is, guys. They're always going to be updating this game. In my opinion, The Witcher is going to bring a ton of players to AFK Arena. I think it's going to be right on par with how many players that Ainz and Albedo brought, and also what Joker Queen brought with Persona 5. I think there's going to be a lot of players that do start picking this up when it comes to putting in The Witcher. Guess that's the reason if you're paying for free. Yeah, progression is slower. That's it. And most of you have seen on the other channel, guys, we're playing Infinite Magic Raid, completely free to play. It's a very cool game. We'll see exactly where it goes. But again, it's slower progression. Just what Carol said. If it is free to play, the progression is going to be slower there, guys. All right, so let's pop these open again. I called maybe the streamer luck a little premature for our superb stones. I'm hoping that it is going to be very, very good. So we use our rare stones, again, getting a little bit more food. And here, guys, we have nine elite hero stones. This is the reason why we farm out the, why we farm all of these stones absolutely within the Misty Valley, guys. You get a ton out of there. Who is the strongest awakened hero? We're due, honestly, the big one right now is the awakened version of Solus. Just with her being a support class. Tayleen, Thane, Brutus kind of fill the same, kind of the same niche within competitions or within a bunch of different avenues. Solus has proven an incredible amount of formations, way more than I thought there was going to be. That I would love to see. What are my hopes for the new dimensionals? I really think that Gerald is going to be a warrior. And I think, of course, Yennefer can only be a mage. I don't think they're going to do support. So I think she is going to be a mage, guys. And I want to see them. I love The Witcher. I've watched The Witcher ever since it came out on Netflix. It's absolutely an amazing show, guys, if you ever catch it. All right, guys, summons. Let's see what we can do here. We got a copy of Aziz. That is a free copy, guys. That saves us 250,000 stones. And we did get double copies of Isabella there, which again is just food at this point. All right, here we go, guys. So if you checked out the Reddit post, one guy pulled 3 superb elite hero stones. He got 3 copies of Oscar, which is absolutely horrible. But 3 stones, he got 3 copies of Oscar. We are hoping this is going to be an awakened hero here, guys. We have 5 stones. That is 5. That's 8 total that we've used. So I'm hoping, again, we get lucky with a hero. And let's see. We got a copy of Alero. We got Hodgkin, even though they're maxed out. So not too bad overall. It's not a copy of Oscar, and it's not triple copies of Oscar. But still, guys, that is 8 stones. And I'm trying to keep track of it. That is 8 stones, 8 superb stones that we have only seen 0 Celestials, 0 Hypogeans, and 0 Awakened Heroes is what we've seen. Yeah, Dark Lucifer, exactly. He got 3 copies of Oscar, which again is kind of AFK Arena's big slap right in your face. So 8 stones, guys. No Celestials, no Hypogeans, no Awakened Heroes in there. What's going on, Tragic? Thank you for joining us. Been a while since we made the stream. All right, guys, let's see what these summons look like. 37 scrolls right here. We also do have a few points. Again, every week we've been doing this. The Awakened Heroes we haven't seen in an incredible amount of time. We're talking hundreds of summons in and nothing. Not even one that we've actually got an Awakened version. Even the Celestials and Hypogeans out of the regular common scrolls, again, we haven't really seen much of anything. Even there, guys, 1 single copy of Alero, which that actually might take him to that ascended level. I know Alero is one that we didn't have ascended, but there's another copy of Scrath. So these we're going to save as much as I would love to get Valoris. Again, we're going to save up for Brutus, but we have 19 cards. Remember, we get 2 cards every day, guys. I buy the deluxe monthly card. And we do buy the card out of the shop every single day, so we get 2 cards per day. So in the course of a week, because we already had our voyage done, we got 19 cards, and I believe 5 of them came from Temple Progression. So in a week, guys, we got a couple cards. My first superb hero stone was an Awakened Brutus. I wish, JJP, that would be awesome. Got a Soulless as well. See, and that's the reason why we say buy the stones, guys. A lot of players in here saying that they've gotten the Awakened Heroes in there, which is exactly what we want to see. Who do I think the new Awakened Graveborn would be? Honestly, in my opinion, I think if they do not do the Awakened version of Shemira, I think they would really do her wrong. And look at that, guys. No copy there. Just some more resources. And then we have 9 more cards. I'm going to burn through them. I wish I could just summon up 9 that we didn't have to do this individually, because I want one more copy. One more will take him, of course, to Mythic Plus. That's the reason why I want to use these cards, guys. I just want one. Just want one copy out of here. 3 more cards. But again, we're 19 cards closer, guys. There it is. Boom! Streamer luck is there, guys. We got the one copy we were looking for, and we only had one left. Definitely worth that. Let's see. Final pull here. Just some more resources. But we got the Brutus copy we wanted, guys. Very, very nice. That is what we wanted. Let's see, that gives us a copy for Aziz, and that's what I thought, guys. Takes Alero up to that ascended level. Even though we haven't really been using him, that takes him up there, and takes Brutus, our 3rd copy there, which takes him to Mythic Plus, guys. He is almost done. He is almost there. We need 3 more copies, and he'll be ascended. By the time we do get him ascended, we should have more than enough copies. Between the Stargazer cards and between the diamonds, that we can actually add that star to him, which I love. We're definitely getting very, very close to having our 3rd Awakened Hero built. What's going on, Antonio? Is there any way to up-to-date Abyssal Expedition guides? Yeah, we do just what you said. There's a lot of secret testing that is going on. There's a lot of competition when it comes to the AE. So I'm going to actually put something out a little bit later today. There's 20 more stones around the Abyssal Expedition. There's a little bit of content out there that we can kind of share with people. And if you're not already kind of in the know of the formations, what people are doing, it's to the point where it's not going to make a difference. You're not going to be able to swap heroes with energy, things of that nature, soon enough to really make a difference within the Abyssal Expedition. So you're going to be kind of, and it looks like it kicked me right out of the game. That's the reason some of it in BlueStack, guys, if you click community, if you go to Dolly's Corner, things of that nature, it literally just boots you right out of the game, which I don't like. Who to choose for the Awakened Heroes? Get one copy, guys, and I'll show you in just a minute. Get one single copy of the Awakened version of Solus. She is actually showing up in a lot of different places. We're seeing her in a ton of different formations. Even within here, a lot of times one single copy is all that you need. We're seeing her in a lot of different formations. Some players do have her built out doing a little bit more damage, but even looking when you start getting down here, guys, a lot of people are saying one single copy. One single copy will replace right here. So I have more real at a plus 30 signature item, 9 of 9 furniture. We have her at a plus 30 engraving. Awakened Solus is doing more damage than this entire hero within AFK Arena. It's kind of crazy to see, but when it comes to Dark Namora, she is replaced essentially with one legendary copy of Awakened Solus. She has been replaced, which is super sad. I tried using Nox for a while, Javid. It seemed to have a lot of problems. I don't know what was going on with it, but it was having quite a few problems when I was trying out Nox. I tried out Nox when BlueStack couldn't get a couple games that I was looking for. Ultimately, it was pretty difficult to get through. Let's go through the Oaken, guys. 26,000. We have a couple heroes again. Brutus, we are still building, guys. 3 more copies and he'll be ascended. I want to have his furniture sitting there just waiting for him. There's a copy for Anasta, which we definitely need some more copies. There's another Mythic right there, which is another copy. We might be able to get her to that 9 of 9 with Anasta, guys. She was pretty close already. Her 9 of 9, of course, with the Brawler's Protection makes a big difference. And there is Drez and Kayleen. A double pull right there. What's going on, J-Sky? What guild am I in? Kilbyros. Kilbyros, however you pronounce it. That is the guild we're currently in. Just for the Abyssal Expedition, there's another piece for Audrey. And back-to-back furniture. And double, guys. Double Torn. Torn, of course, with more real. Again, within some of the Cursed Realm formations. Double pull right there. For Torn, guys, we should be able to max out a couple more of these heroes, which is going to be awesome. That gives him 4 of 9 right there for Torn. Don't say Awaken. Oh, Awaken Thorin. Yeah, that would be... What is the best way to get Awakened heroes if you want to spend money? If you want to spend money for the Awakened heroes, I believe you can buy them as long as you get a couple copies. I know there's a few in here where you can actually just buy the hero. Maybe there's only one. So once you get her here, you can actually buy it. Buy the cards. The time emblems are the only way. There's promotional packs like this. I mean, if you want to drop $99, you can get 60 and 60, which is a pretty good deal out of the promotional pack. And you get them instantly. That's really the big thing why players do buy them this way, is you get the cards instantly. It's not like the deluxe monthly card where you do have to wait a considerable amount of time to have it built up. You can just have it, again, right off the bat. You can have the heroes, you can summon for the heroes that you're looking for, essentially right off the bat. All right, so wish list, what do we got, guys? We have 6, we have 8 for Honesta, which, you know what, I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to use one of these cards. I just want to finish Honesta out. Again, I use her for quite a bit within the Cursed Realm. We see her used in a couple different formations. 9 of 9 works really well because of the Brawler protection. So with the 9 of 9, again, works pretty well. Sonya is another one, so I actually want to drop him out of here. As you can see, our formation, so we'll drop him out. I am going to put Sonya in, was the actual one that I'm looking for. There we go. So Sonya will go in. Honesta comes out, already had 9 of 9. Drez, of course, we were building up a little bit higher. Furniture, very important for him within the Temporal Rift. Cursed Realm, she is in the Cursed Realm, but also need damage within the Celestial Tower. Greyborn Tower, she is super strong, guys. And then the rest of the heroes, guys, as is. Very cool. Do you think they should bring back older collabs? They definitely could. Big thing, JC, is the collaborations are only for a certain amount of time. So a lot of players were asking if they're going to bring back collaborations. They'd have to have a whole new collaboration with the company that they had before. Is Kayleen good early? No, she is not. She is actually not very good early. She does require a significant investment to really shine and do well. You do have to put quite a bit of an investment into her. Early game, I did not find her effective whatsoever. If one of us say Awaken Thorin and it comes to the existence, yeah, there you go. Don't curse Thorin, guys. Don't put the Awakened version of Thorin into existence, is what everyone is saying. They don't want to see the Awakened version of Thorin. What's going on? Anti-Andy? Anti-Andy is here, guys. What's going on? I need a good tier list for Hypogens. If you have a link. The Hypogen heroes, if you're looking specifically for those, Lucretia, Zolrath are the two really big ones. Of course, Mahira, Khazar do go together pretty well. But the two, that would, honestly, Lucretia would be the first one. Probably followed by Mahira, and then probably followed by Khazard. Then Zolrath. Zolrath you'll get out of the shop. He's actually the primary one that you do want to build out of the shop. But tier list for those, pretty easy. Thoughts on building Tresner? Tresner works very well. The big thing with Tresner is you do have to invest in him. So Tresner needs the plus 60 engraving. That is what gives Tresner the ability to actually survive, is that plus 60 engraving, which is the reason if you don't have it, he dies quick. That's really the big thing. He dies incredibly fast if you do not have him built out with that plus 60 engraving. So if you're not willing to put in the resources to build Tresner out, you definitely have to build him out. We need good formations just to get 30 billion damage to the boss for extra rewards. Yeah, the ranking out for us, I'm exact same. Like I said before, guys, I'm not going to be in the top 2%. I don't put enough into AFK Arena to be in the top 2%. But through consistent gameplay, top 20%, sure, I'll absolutely make it into the top 20%. 2%, absolutely not. Cannot do it. How about an adult version of Damon? That would be pretty cool. That would be pretty crazy if they did an Awakened version of Damon. But again, that's not a hero that I really want to see. Just because Damon still has a lot of viability as we see him today. The viability for a lot of the Damon team comps still work incredibly well. Yeah, Tresner no longer important. I regret building him. Yeah, Awakened Brutus, him and Ainz work incredibly well. I didn't even look through the formations that we were running here. So here we got Mishka. That's a pretty good setup. Charizard, of course. And here we have the Mega Crowd Control. We have Kren instead of Raku in this one. Thorin Cheese. And then we do have All Negrez. So overall, most of the meta comps are here. We'll give it a couple times, see what we can get through here. What if giving us only one hero to wish list to furniture plus high priority, will it help to get mythic furniture? No, if you only put one hero in the wish list, guys, similar to the regular wish list, Tinky, it will pull random. You will literally get random furniture for whoever. It is not going to prioritize the furniture. It will give you random. It'll give you completely random furniture in there. Do you need 9 of 9 furniture on Kren? Yes. Kren, Luke, Kren is another hero that is very dependent on stats. Definitely a hero that you have to build out considerably. But again, the stats that go in there, Kren has to have that 9 of 9. Kren needs that engraving plus 30 or plus 60 because, again, they're very dependent. Damage dealers are super dependent, Luke, on the stats that you have to have. What's going on, Chris? What would be your Awakened hero priority? I only have Awakened Tayleen. Honestly, for the Awakened heroes, my priority would be getting at least a copy of Solus. Solus would be good. From there, honestly, most players would say Tayleen or Brutus. I like Brutus's crowd control. I like Tayleen because of the Celestial Tower. Let me try Thane in here. Again, a lot of it is somewhat of a personal preference, and a lot of the heroes fill essentially a very, very similar slot. That's what we see. Again, when you look at Thane, when you look at Brutus, both very effective in the tower, both pretty effective within some campaign stages. There's not a huge, I guess, like a huge deficiency between the two. And look at this, guys. They're running Ainz in here. Let me see how this one works. You should link Joan and all the dimensionals to another. Yeah, heroes. Yeah, you want to link them to the heroes that you're not using or not going to use. That's the other big part, guys, is there's a lot of heroes in here that we don't use for anything. We really don't use for much of any. Yeah, there you go. So E41 on Kren, adding in that haste. Of course, he's a hero that you're going to get an incredible amount of damage out of. Kren is pretty strong, guys. Kren is a pretty strong hero when you're building him out. And this one, I think, is just going to be a little bit of RNG. I've completed Awakened Tayleen, working on Aziz. JC, Aziz, you do not need built. Aziz, you only need one copy. Hopefully you haven't already invested a ton into getting the Awakened version of Aziz. One copy is honestly all you need, and he will work just like having multiple copies or just like having him built. He will work. And there we go, guys. The Ainz comp pulls through on that one. I finally got Krenendrez to E60, still working on. Yeah, Antonio, that is pretty much everybody. Most people do not have the Maulers built out, guys. They are by far, unfortunately, still probably the weakest faction that we see because most of them are not meta. That's honestly, that's the biggest thing that we see most commonly is, again, most of the Maulers, short of Awakened Brutus, even before we had Awakened Brutus, not really used in the meta at all. That's kind of crazy. But again, you didn't really see any of your Mauler heroes anywhere, which again, you're excluding an entire faction, which again is kind of crazy. Almost got it down, guys. That was very cool. I have problems with the campaign. I don't have much Hypojos and Celestials. Is there any way to get them faster? Not really a way to get them faster. More summons, more chances Think of it similar to like a baseball game. The more at-bats, that's why I always say when I'm building the awakened version of Brutus, every summon is one closer to getting that awakened version of Brutus. It's just going to take time, guys. Ultimately, the more that you can build, the more chances that you have, the possibilities. Now, one big thing with a lot of the campaign stages, guys, Celestials and Hypogens are not used in a lot of stages. There's a point, I mean, I'm in chapter 43 now where Celestial Heroes at this point, you're going to have them built just naturally through the progression of the game, through summons, everything of that nature. There will be a point where you have the heroes built, but ultimately early game, the primary 4 factions, you'll go through them very, very well. Should I garrison now for Eins and Albedo, or should I save for the Dimensionals? Depends where you're at right now, Anton. Again, you don't want to spend some resources and then come up short. That is where a lot of players got burned, coming up short with the dimensional heroes. If you come up short with the dimensionals, you're kind of SOL, because you're not going to be able to get them, and now you're going to have to go back to the garrison aspect for them. Make sure you have enough resources. Don't burn through a lot of your resources. Finally, AFK Arena will collab. Yeah, I would love to see a God of War collaboration. That's a very cool game. There's a lot of games out there, guys, where I think if they did, let's say, collaboration every 6 months, and that's where we got our dimensional heroes from. Again, you're bringing a lot. There we go, guys. Thorn Cheese just worked right there. You're bringing a lot of heroes to AFK Arena that usually are not here or that do not know about this game, which is the reason why I think the collaboration should happen far more often than they do. It's just kind of, I guess, my opinion, but I think they could collab a lot more than they do, and we'd see a lot more gameplay, a lot more players in AFK Arena if we had a lot more of the collaboration. You know, it would be cool if they changed the faction of some Awakened units, like Awakened Isabella, a Celestial. Oh, yeah, I mean, that's a pretty cool thought. Even with the Awakened heroes, for the most part, the Awakened heroes, even though they're a version of the regular hero, most of them have nothing in common. Like skills and ability wise, even looking at Tayleen was a support hero. They moved her to the tank role. Again, a lot of the combinations don't have that much in common. If they dropped a different name on the Awakened hero, would it make a big difference? Probably not. It would still just kind of be the exact same thing. Again, if they didn't tie in the original version of the heroes, it really wouldn't make a big difference. Remember, guys, that the Abyssal expedition also has rewards for doing. Yeah, you want to get everything out of there, guys. That's really the big thing. The big thing with the Abyssal expedition in AFK Arena, the more you can get out of it, the more places you can get loot, the more places you can get stones, absolutely is the huge part. Guys, 43-20 is complete. We're making our way through Candyland. Short and sweet. It's pretty cool. I want to see what's coming next. Here's the Thorn Cheese, which I'm sure a lot of these are going to be the exact same. Thorn Cheese, Thorn Cheese, Thorn Cheese. Where's Willow at? Thorn Cheese. A lot of these stages. There we go. Lucretia, 415. We should be able to do this one. Heroes are similarly built. I would kill for AFK Arena. Oh, Kingdom Hearts. And JC Gamer, just like that, there's a lot of games that have a incredible amount of heroes, which I like as well. I know Kingdom Hearts is one. I believe they have a lot of different heroes within the game. So bringing over 1 or 2 heroes is really cool. I think that's a good opportunity to kind of pick and choose what heroes you want to choose from a game, which is pretty cool. Which Awakened hero is best to get? I saved 700 time emblems. Yeah, Solus or Brutus would be the two. Solus, again, she does incredibly well without having her fully built. Of course, being built is going to help, but ultimately it seems like Solus is going to be the one to build right now because of her being support. And the reason or the logic that I use, a lot of players ask exactly why. It's the utility, not just the utility of the hero, but also where the hero is being used. And that's kind of the big thing that I kind of focus on, is all the awakened heroes are very strong. They have their own place. But again, what is the utility to where they're being used? Are we seeing them in the Twisted Realm? Are we seeing them in the Cursed Realm? Are we seeing them in Guild Bosses? Are we seeing them in Temporal Rift? Are we seeing them? You know, there's an incredible amount of places that these awakened heroes are being used, but which ones are being utilized the most within formations? Honestly, again, the first one that I see being used a ton of places is the awakened version of Solus. That is the one that we see in a lot of formations, even having her just at legendary, even, you know, not having her built quite as high. We're still seeing her again in a lot of formations, which is the reason. Maybe in the future, AFK will do updates by presenting the awakened dimensional. Oh yeah, the awakened dimension. Denny, it could. It ultimately, it could, guys. There's not really a cap on what they could do. You know, essentially they can do whatever they want, guys. Ultimately, it is Lilith Games. It is their game. I love the changes. I love the pet system. I think it's going to be a very cool addition. And Nomura just killed Thorin over here. But again, it's really cool to see. I like the addition of the pet system. I think not only are they cute when you start getting them a little bit bigger and they start coming into the battlefield. Again, it's going to add stats. It's going to change it. Of course, it always will. It always does. There is going to be a point where, you know, there are updates to this game. It's inevitable to keep, you know, players that have been here 3 years playing, also to attract new players through collaborations, things of that nature. There's always going to be changes. We're always going to see it. Joan of Arc is pretty good. Yes, Joan of Arc, guys, again, it's the exchange time right now. Make sure that you're exchanging. You want to get the copy of Joan. She is really strong support. When they come out with that Dimensional Tower, guys, again, she's going to be very strong support within those formations. And let's see if we have something that's not quite the Thorn Cheese. Thorn Cheese. There's Lucretia around the same team. Let's try this one again. I think we might be able to kind of get through here. I'd like them to give out more tickets. Yes, absolutely. We need a better system or a little bit of a better way to get the awakened heroes, because as they continue to give us more and more and more awakened heroes, we have to have a way to get them. And there we go, guys. Lucy gets it done like she always does. 12 billion damage in a matter of a few seconds. She puts out 12 billion damage. Willow Lord, again, this was kind of a similar level. I look for someone who's right kind of on par with my level. Felipe is usually pretty close. We'll go ahead, we'll pop this one. I think we have Charizard in there. We have Alnagrez, and then we have Thorn Cheese. So again, very, very similar formations. We'll let it go. We'll see exactly what we can do. Now, guys, if you haven't subbed to the channel, guys, we didn't get any subscribers, I think, last week. So if you haven't subbed to the channel, we're at 26,700, I believe. So again, incredible the amount of subs that we have on this channel. It's bigger than I ever thought this channel would get, guys. Starting out, you know, with YouTube over 2 years ago, we have 120 to probably 200 players that are in the live stream. And I again, absolutely incredible that you guys are spending an hour with me once a week going through AFK Arena. It's something I absolutely love to do. Being able to talk to you guys about the game. Again, it's amazing. I love being able to sit here and have conversations with you guys. What do you think AFK Arena needs to be a better game? King Tarzan, that's interesting because that's something that I actually think about quite a bit. Some of the things that I would love to see, and guys, give me your honest opinion. It's very cool when it comes to AFK Arena. Now, one thing that I would love to see would be guild bosses. So a lot of other games do guild bosses incredibly better than we have Soren and we have Riz. Both of those guild bosses, they've literally left for 3+ years at this point. They need to update them. There needs to be some addition. Now, in a lot of games, if you've played Idle Heroes, if you've played even Infinite Magic Raid, the guild bosses are cumulative and the guild bosses are with the guild. So essentially, if a boss has, let's say in this case, like 5 trillion hit points, it is going to take a guild of 70 people to go ahead and burn down a guild boss, because again, it is a collaborative effort against the guild. I think AFK Arena has entirely missed the guild aspect. The ability to play with people that you're friends with, the communication, the collaboration aspect. We need events that are focused around the guild and building out the guild, and actually the viability, maybe usability of the guild itself. Again, I think that is one of the biggest misses when it comes to AFK Arena, is the guild bosses. I know we got Twisted Realm, Cursed Realm, but again, none of them are cumulative. None of them have kind of the advancing rewards. They're pretty stationary to the players that are in there. I would love to see some of those changes, which would be pretty cool. Being able to use diamonds for the Awakened Heroes, even if they made it more expensive, guys, you know what? If the card's 500 diamonds in the store, let's say if you do the summons for an Awakened Heroes, it's 700 diamonds. It is what it is, guys. Either you're going to buy the card for $500 or 500 diamonds, or you're going to go ahead, you're going to use it 700 diamonds to summon the hero. If you really want to focus on the hero, you do have the opportunity to. Right now, you don't, especially, again, if you're a free-to-play player. There has to be an avenue to get these heroes a little bit easier as they continue to push more and more of these heroes out. They're only increasing the difficulty to get them because, again, a lot of players, if you're not doing a ton of summons, you're pretty limited to the amount of cards you get, which, again, is kind of unfortunate, but it is very true. Need a change like that. Who is we? Is this your own channel or team? It's my own channel. The Poe 1029. I do everything, guys. I do the thumbnails, I do the comments, I do everything right now. Maybe one day it'll get to the point where I have someone else. The only feedback that I get, and most of you do know, are from my 8-year-old and my 5-year-old. They love watching me play every now and then. They sit down when I make thumbnails. Sometimes they watch, they see exactly how I do it through Canva. It's pretty cool to see. My 2 little ones are the ones that give me feedback on the content that I create in YouTube. I'm thinking of building Halos or Zolrath. Halos, I would absolutely build. Zolrath is the primary hero you're looking out at the Challenger store. Definitely want to go ahead and build those both. Zolrath, of course, has to be ascended for that 3 of 9 furniture, or Zolrath doesn't work. Does Daemon fall off? If so, what campaign level? Daemon is actually used in some of these formations now. So Daemon doesn't really fall off. Again, there's some formations where he is still very prevalent in that he does work. I would like to revamp the expedition shop. Yeah, some of that, like especially when it comes to the Abyssal expedition, the rewards in there need to be fixed. They need to be changed a little bit. Idle Heroes does guild. Yes, exactly, Raffin. Idle Heroes does guild events very well. Exactly that. They do. Oh, did we finish? We did. We finished that. Idle Heroes, guys, again, it's a game that is way further pay to win than AFK Arena ever has been. But Idle Heroes does guild events incredibly well. They actually have events that are centered right around guilds. And of course, the guild bosses, like I talked about before. Do you think Ainz will get a big nerf? If so, he doesn't get relevant. Ainz, ultimately, guys, with the magic suppression, we're going to have to see where exactly that kind of adds up. What they're thinking is, even looking at some of the changes like Khazard going to points, the only difference that it makes with Khazard going to essentially that point system is if the other side of the equation, and I hope you guys kind of got it from the video, if the other side of the equation has the opposing. So if, Ainz has a lot more of the magic amplification versus the suppression, it can make him stronger or weaker, again, depending on what side of the equation essentially they're on. Yeah, exactly. It's not a buff or a nerf. Just like what Javid said, until you get into heroes and until you get into pets, that's where, again, the difference is going to be kind of prevalent, is depending, again, on the side of the equation. So while the SI from Khazard completely changed, it's a big nerf. Now, Chris, the SI for him specifically, I'll take a look at it real quick, because again, I hope a lot of players understand this. So the 60% rate here is affected the entire campaign. So just like what Javid said, he can't explain it in English. So essentially the 60% is going to 60 points, which is essentially 60%. It is the same percentage. Now, it will be the exact identical percentage in here until, and this is kind of the big point of this, it will be that 60% that we see right here. The signature item remains the same until the other side of the equation comes into effect. When the other side of the equation comes into effect, let's say you have 1 point the other way, this 60% or 60 points, which is what it is going to change to, will go to 59% because the opponent has the 1% the other way. So that's kind of the big part. So let's say I have a 60% rate here and I have a pet that buffs this by 10. That's kind of the big thing. So let's say I have 10 more points. Now this is at 70. The increased duration is going to go up by 70% versus the 60% of his signature item if the opponent does not have the other side of the equation. Think of it kind of as math. That's kind of the big part of it. They're putting it into percentages. Instead of the percentages, they're putting it into kind of a mathematical equation. Again, so if, again, scenario, Khazard has 60 points here, your opponent now has 60 points of the offsetting stat. This essentially goes to 0. That is where the difference comes in, guys. Is this would essentially go to 0 if the opponent has 60 points. So Khazard has 60 points, the opponent has 60 points. This duration would go to 0. And that's where they're kind of changing it up, the point wise, in where it's going to make a difference. Biggest impact of this is going to be PvP, because the ability to change, again, the numbers based on the pets. Now the pets do carry the magic resistance, things of that nature. So you could have a much bigger effect when it comes to the pets. But again, pets are going to be open to all. Biggest impact, again, that we're going to see, guys, is going to be right here, which unfortunately I did not qualify. Of course, I lost to Kilby Ross. But this is going to be the absolute biggest place within AFK Arena that you are going to see. And hey, there's In Season. Big shout out to In Season. He is here. But this is where it is going to have the big impact with the stats. And also, it's going to be a big change in, again, trying to kind of understand it is going to be a big change if they add it to the campaign. So that's going to be the other part, is if they add it into the campaign, if they add pets into the campaign, if they start adding these stats into the campaign, this is where it gets a lot more difficult, is when they're adding the campaign stats, because essentially you're going to nullify a lot of what Khazard does if the opponent team has that opposing stat or that opposing pet that brings that stat. So Khazard's duration can go up to, I believe it is 100% now. So right now he is at 60. With the pets, you can take that duration past a 60, which is going to be kind of broken. But again, the opposing team can also mitigate the stats that you're adding, which is kind of the reason. It's it's going to be interesting to see exactly where and if or when they add it into the stat aspect, or if it comes into the campaign, which they might say, you know what, we're in chapter 52. We're going to start it into chapter 53 is going to start the new, the new pet system or the new stat system. It's not going to be earlier than that. So again, that's what we're going to see. Too much pay to win. Again, the pay to win, Chris, honestly doesn't matter. To me, if you want to pay to win in a game, sure, go ahead, pay to win. In my opinion, if you want to compete on the PvP aspect, it's going to be pay to win. If you want to compete when it comes to other aspects, you accept what it is. If you don't want to put, if you don't want to put, tens of thousands of dollars into it, ultimately, guys, accept the game for what it is. It's an amazing game. It's actually not very pay to win if you look in comparison to a lot of other gacha games where literally you're stuck without progression. But again, it is a pay to win game. Just like almost every single game that I know, a lot of it is not really the skill-based games. A lot of it is a lot of the pay to win. Pets is not, yes, the pets are free. You get a lot of the pets. You might not get fully max out leveled up pets, but the pets are free. You can get the free pets out of there. You can utilize them. Again, short of the PvP aspect is going to be the biggest impact. It's really going to be the biggest impact, is going to be that PvP aspect. Just completed chapter 39. Awesome. Yeah, chapter 39, 40, 41 are absolutely the time to push because of the Misty Valley. What's going on, AirTap? Hope everyone is doing good. Yep, doing great on the Sunday. We just got done shopping. My refrigerator broke, so we're looking to repair and replace a refrigerator because they don't repair them anymore, which again is kind of crazy. But I asked Lilith way before about Falks removing a majority of debuffs. They said we just don't have it in the description, but it will. Yeah, there's going to be more changes, guys. I hope they update some of the older heroes, which would be pretty cool. Yeah, it's changing. It's just in a little different method. Again, we seen the same thing when signature items came out. We seen it the exact same thing when furniture came out. We seen it with engraving. We'll see it with pets. Again, a lot of the game is the pay to win aspect. It's ultimately what it comes down to. Lilith Games makes money out of the game. If they don't make money, the game will not exist. I promise you. I've seen a lot of games that have come and gone that don't make any revenue. The game is gone very quick. Every ranking is affected with pets, so every ranking will get higher. Not if there's the exact same whales, Chris. And that's it. So if you have, honestly, when you look at the 2% of players that spend an incredible amount of money in this game, when the pets drop, they are going to be the 2% of players that spend a lot in this game. They're going to keep the status within the Twisted Realm, the Cursed Realm. It is going to be the exact same players that are spending a lot in AFK Arena. If some of those 2% players leave, now you're going to allow for a couple other heroes to get in there. But ultimately, again, it's going to be the same players that are spending a lot of money into AFK Arena are still going to be in that same 2% slot that they've always been in. They're still going to be there. Yeah, Thorn Cheese, guys, is such a very staple. Doesn't matter for free to play. Yeah, exactly. Just like what Javid said, free to play is not going to, is never going to compete. Even with me, I'm a light spender in this game. I can rank in the top 20% for what we put in here. I saved some resources, gotten to the point. But again, I'm not going to be the top 2%. We're not going to put an absolute incredible amount into this game. I put less than $100 a month is kind of the cap that I put on there. So again, being just a little whale, dolphin fish, goldfish, whatever you want to call it, it is what it is. That's exactly, the game is going to be what it is. Either take it or leave it, unfortunately. But if you're not happy with the game, if you're not having fun, I'm not going to play the game anymore. If there's a point where AFK Arena is no longer fun, where it seems a lot more like work than it is anything else, guys, I promise you I will no longer cover content. I will no longer enjoy the game. I'm not going to do this as something that is tedious work. I enjoy playing the game. I find it incredibly enjoyable, which is the reason why I still cover it and why you're watching it today. What's going on, Clay? I'm still the best. Thank you. Yeah, definitely get Joan of Arc, guys. Have a good dinner, whatever you're eating. I'm building my Awakened Thane. I already made a Mythic Plus. Do you think it's worth to pause to get a copy of Solace? Honestly, I probably would. Again, the big thing, I know you're building up that Awakened version of Thane and you want to get him finished. The big thing is, if you can Merc Solace, absolutely not. If you're literally just going to pull one copy, it can be worth it. Again, we're seeing her in a lot of different formations. If you're getting one copy, if you have no ability to Merc her, getting one copy is highly advisable. Again, because we're seeing her in so many formations, it could make a difference between being, in the top 20 of a Twisted Realm or being in the top, 50 of a Twisted Realm. Should I build Baden and Joan up to 309.30? Depending, great day. Baden is such niche use. There's not really a big reason to build Baden. He works, I think he's used in like one or two niche formations, but again, the formations do rely on a lot of other factors, a lot of other built heroes. Joan, absolutely, guys, I would do 209.30 on Joan is good enough. If you want to do the plus 30 signature item, absolutely. The engraving doesn't need to be there. Furniture helps a ton. Her 909 furniture, guys, does help quite a bit. And Thorin Cheese, we know, is just super RNG. You give it a little bit, of time. It works eventually, which is kind of bad. A Join's engraving bonus is accuracy, but all of the attacks are mostly passive. She doesn't actually hit, so it's useless stat on her as a support that does no damage. We've tested it both ways, Hive. So a lot of players from the guild built her to, the 0, then the plus 30 engraving, then the plus 60. The big thing is the buffs. That is the reason why you have to build her to that plus 30 engraving. We're probably not going to get this one done today. But the big thing is, of course, the buffs. I know here for the bonuses in here are accuracy. But the big thing in here, of course, is right here, guys. The plus 30 is this attack rating and defense rating buff, which is the reason you're using her as a support hero within most of the, again, Twisted Realm, Cursed Realm comps, is you want this attack rating buff that is coming in here, which is the big difference, guys. This is what makes the game changer, is the plus 30, because of the buffs she's bringing to the team. Any hero that's bringing more to a team that actually does have kind of a benefit add to the team, which is the good part. Building her plus 60, PvP possibly, campaign, regular gameplay, going to be absolutely no use for it. But again, the buff, the plus 30 engraving buff does make a big difference. I know for me, but I'm going to save again immediately because there are 2 dimensionals. Yes, guys, make sure you're saving. The dimensionals are coming. We know they're not super far off with the dimensional heroes, so absolutely they are going to be coming pretty soon. Again, redeem for Joan, guys. It is well worth it. Anastel was another one. We just built her up to that 9 of 9 furniture. This works incredibly well, guys, because of this Brawler's protection. This is the big one, guys, is she is going to give Brawler protection and get Brawler protection. This deals with her survivability. That's really the big piece, is the survivability aspect that we have within here. We need her to live. She's not effective whatsoever if she completely dies out, which I don't like whatsoever, but definitely have to deal with her survivability. There we go, guys. Got a couple more diamonds in there. 35,000. We're just going to go ahead and bank everything. So as of right now, we are going to just literally bank everything that we have, saving up to build Valoris. Will the Witcher heroes be dimensional? Yes, both of them will be dimensionals. It's going to be interesting to see, but yes, both of those will be dimensionals, guys. Again, we're saving our cards, we're saving our diamonds. Once we get Brutus, and look at that. Congratulations, Dave. I don't know if you're in the stream, but Dave just got 30,000 diamonds. Once we get those 3 more copies of Brutus, we're going to pop him in here, get that 1 star. Then it is going to be all in for Valoris, guys. So absolutely starting to build those out. All right, guys, so we made it to 43.28, almost halfway through 43, which means we'll push into 44. You can see level deficiencies. They're at 803 already, guys. So we're pushing almost a, 180 level deficiency, which is where we want to be. Kind of by design, that's how we want to. How do we save up for both? Save everything. 2-dimensional hero, guys. Save everything. Save all of your coins. Save all of your labyrinth tokens. Save all of your engraving mats. Save your chests. Save up your Poe coins. Save everything. We know 2-dimensional heroes are coming. Save everything. How do we save? Be disciplined. Be really, really disciplined when it comes to everything you get in your bag, guys. Don't use any of it. Save all of it. That is really the big thing here. You're going to need it. You're going to need to be building out both of these heroes. I really think they're going to be very, very strong. So save everything to go ahead and build them, guys. Again, we know they're coming. Start saving right now. Who has the most badass design? For me, it's Khazard. Yeah, I like how Khazard looks. He is very, very cool looking. I like Brutus. I think as big as he is, guys, how absolute massive they made Brutus. I love how his design looks. He is just absolutely thick tank that just looks like you couldn't kill him for anything. They have a lot of cool heroes. I mean, even the awakened version of Tayleen, that is pretty cool looking. The modeling they do within here is very, very cool. There you go. So Poe1029 says he has no hope. So no discipline to save up all of the stuff. But yeah, the ascended Brutus or awakened Brutus, absolutely, it's such a beast looking there, which I hope they do with The Witcher. Looking at the little kind of screenshots that they put out, it seems like he's going to be a little tiny guy, which I was kind of thinking like it almost looks like he's like the size of Oscar. Again, looking at kind of those sneak peeks or those leaks we seen, it seemed like The Witcher had like a little tiny figure. But then when you watch The Witcher show, this is kind of the figure that The Witcher has. We know it is, what's his name? Cahill, that was Superman. He's huge. He's an absolute mammoth of a guy. And then you put the armor on him and everything, guys. Again, if you've watched The Witcher, he is about the size of Brutus. So I really hope they do not go with this size of The Witcher, because again, he looked tiny when we seen him earlier. I mean, similar to, like, let's say a Joker, just a really small, more of a character frame that I seen with the build out there. The first hero was 15 and the second hero, yeah, they could. They definitely, I hope they do the discounted. Again, guys, YouTube, on this account, we're going to buy them both. As soon as they do come up available to purchase, I'm going to buy them. I'm going to build them just like we do with all of our heroes. Just like we did with Joan, guys. As soon as she came up available, we're going to purchase her. We're going to build her out. I absolutely want to see, and I love both the heroes. Gerald and Yennefer, very, very cool heroes. He is like Arthur. I hope he's like Arthur. That's kind of the more burly, bigger armored build that I love to see from all of these, medieval heroes. I even like Baba Yaga. I think that's a really cool way that they built her. But some of them, like Yukio, not too impressed with. Nakaruru. They're kind of, the earlier crossover heroes. Yeah, all the human looking heroes are small. That's kind of what they generally go by. And again, I'm hoping that he's a little bit bigger than what we've seen. Lilith needs to increase the Labyrinth coin storage. Yes, they need to do that, Peter, across everything. Everything within AFK Arena, guys. I don't know why they don't increase even our guild tokens, guild coins, to have a 200,000 cap. What are you going to do with them? Buy more gear, buy more stones, cap it higher, cap it, 500,000, 300,000. And Labyrinth coins, because the items are relatively more expensive and there's a lot more of them, you know what? Cap this at 350, cap it at 500,000, whatever it may be, guys. Or just like I said, and I've said it and I'll say it again, guys, let us buy these soul stones. Let us buy the fragments of Joan of Arc, of, you know, The Witcher, of Yennefer. Let us actually purchase the fragments just like we see up here within the merchant store. Let me buy the fragments, put the timer within the fragments themselves. It is what I would like to see. So essentially, you would buy 2 of 60 fragments for Yennefer. Those 60 fragments would have a timer within your bag, literally just sitting there waiting. I think I finally got 10 of these Yuri stones that nobody uses, but we'll go ahead, we'll draw some dreams. 5 chests, not too bad. We got 5 more chests out of there to, again, continue our building up on there. Yeah, that's the big thing. Increase the cap or just let us go ahead and redeem a little bit earlier. So, all right, guys, so that'll do it for our Sunday stream. Made some progression through here. Definitely got Brutus up to Mythic Plus, which I love, guys. 3 more copies and the absolute monster will be done. Continuing to build out, of course, all of his furniture. I think I have a couple more tier 4 stones as well, which means, guys, he will be maxed out to the tier 4 stones by the time that he is ready to go. I think I need, what, one more tier 4 stone and he will be completely maxed out, which is where we want to build him. We'll get some furniture on him. I think, did we get a piece for him? I think maybe, no, we didn't get any yet. None for Valoris, none for the awakened version of Brutus. But ultimately, guys, again, it's going to take time to build all of them out. So get ready, guys. The pets are coming on Tuesday, just like we've seen before. Pets are coming. A lot of changes are coming. Some updates to some heroes. New stats are coming. Then, of course, we have both of the Witcher heroes that are coming. Can you retire Laybearer Legendary Plus? You can if you have 60. So the actually redemption, actually we didn't do this yet. We have a couple of heroes here I could actually swap, but reverting heroes, retiring heroes. This is the big thing, guys, is you can retire heroes in here. You have to have 60 of the heroes. You have to have 60 ascended heroes, which does not include your dimensional heroes. My hippo is gone. I'm so sad. I'm not sure how can I get... I'm going to have to figure it out, Javid. I'll figure it out and see exactly how you can gift memberships. I'm looking in here. I don't have an ability to gift memberships. I know there is a way. I don't know if I can't do it through my chat. I have stickers in chat, but I don't have... Again, I don't have a way to gift a membership, but we'll see. We'll get Javid a hippo. I'll figure it out and we'll get Javid a hippo. Yep, 60 ascended heroes without the dimensional heroes. So again, you cannot get, these do not count, guys. These heroes right here do not count towards the 60 that you need to do the recycling of the heroes. But ultimately, guys, we will continue building out all of these heroes. We're getting there, guys. All right, so that'll do it for, again, our Sunday stream, guys. Go out. It looks like we have a little bit of sun here. I'm going to have to take care of my grass, cut it up, get it all ready for the week. All of my kids are back and in school, which means that we get... we go back to catechism, we go back to swim, we go back to a lot of different things going on, guys, during the school week. So it's incredibly busy. So again, guys, thank you guys for joining me for our Sunday stream. We will definitely figure it out and we will get there. Thank you for the stream. Thank you guys for joining me. Like I said, guys, we have 120 to 150 players that actually come on here and join the streams, which is incredible. Absolutely incredible, guys. I love doing the Sunday streams. It is something that I look forward to every single week. So again, guys, have a good week. Got a lot more content coming, including the Abyssal Expedition Guide that we're going to be covering later on tonight. So have a good week, guys. I will talk to you soon. And as always, thank you guys for watching.